all centers of IEA as part of National Observer Energy Conservation Week observed at various states of India starting from December 14. Today, our Tanjavur local center is celebrating the same with the technical talk by an eminent professor, Dr. N Stalin, Associate Professor Trichy. Dr. N Stalin graduated with an engineering degree from Bharathasan University. He proceeded his MTech, Energy Engineering and PhD Energy Engineering in the Department of CSAT, NIT Trichy. He started his career as a research associate in NIT Trichy and developed 15 energy models, and it was working successfully in the industries and household. He worked in various energy concerns and taking a position director in energy, director deputy director AEL in Salem and Tanjavur. Actually completed 9 PhD scholars, 25 MTech dissertations, and 42 undergraduate projects, and international journals of 123 papers in conference. He has conducted over 15 workshops, training programs, short-term courses for practicing engineers and faculty of engineering institutions, sponsored by ASTE and Tech 66 students and produced continuous record of 100% result in the semester exam conducted by Anna University, Chennai. He has received Best Paper Award in 2007, the international conference conducted by Pondicherry government, and received Best Teacher Award in 2008. He received Young Faculty Research Scheme Award in the year 2015 under Tech. He is a life member of ISTE Institute and sponsored by ACTE, MHRD, ISTE, and TechIP2. He has developed 15 energy efficient models for industrial and home appliances. N Stalin is a reviewer in the International Journal of Energy Research and International Journal of Energy Conservation and Management. It is a time to usher the new year eve, that means a new resolution. Whether this is the first year we are looking for ways to save energy or we want to lower energy bills even more than last year. Let us get tips and strategies from our today's guest speaker, Dr. N. Stalin. I welcome you, sir, by thanking our State Center for hosting the Zoom platform. I am handing over the session to Professor Dr. M. Stalin.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for a brief introduction.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm really happy to conduct this type of energy conservation day because of everybody want to aware about the energy conservation. And also my special thanks to the chairperson, the Institution of Engineers, India, Tanjavur Local Center, Engineer J. Sumati Madam. Really, as per the APJ Abdul Kalam, our former president, he said, whatever the work you do, you are the one of the role model. So I'm really happy to say that as a chairperson, Engineer J. Sumati Madam, you are one of the role model for conducting this program. And really appreciate the team of the Sumati Madam and the team of Engineer E. Jayakumar sir, the Honorable Secretary, and the Honorable members of the Institution of Engineers, Tanjavur Local Center. I observe that the activities of all Institution of Engineers activities all over Tamil Nadu and all over India, but Tanjavur Local Center has achieved more compared to others. They continuously were active in this, like our APJ Abdul Kalam said, you can be one of the role model. Definitely, your team has to got this award. So really, I appreciate that, madam. So congratulations to the not only madam and the group of under madam who are all working. So I really appreciate all the members in the Institution of Engineers. I know in this brochure it is mentioned Dr. Jayakram Kumar sir only, but others I do not know. So I appreciate all the engineers, those who are worked behind Madam. And now, uh, whenever why we need to go for energy conservation as per the uh, concept of energy conservation day by day you are doing your regular activities, especially from the early morning to when you go to your bed. So you are doing some early activities, but as per the energy concern nowadays, the thing is you are exposing more amount of heat to the atmosphere. And what is the problem in the existing uh, atmosphere? Say an example, in Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta or Chennai, the air quality index is about more than 400 ppm, parts per million. So you more and more fuel you are used, and because of using more and more the resource without 100% conversion, or without the maximum possible conversion, the emission of the vehicle is more. So because of that, the air quality index is also about more than 400 to the 450 ppm. So what is our aim? Why we need to go for this energy conservation? Say an example, today you are taking four idlis. Say an example, four idlis you are going to take. But by say an example, as you are a student or a person, or your children, instead of that they took six idlis because of their capacity to have only four, but they took six. But what happened? The children has to eat only four, remaining two has to put it into the dustbin. You just imagine that, whether the food has to be get it in front of you by making a memorism, or by making any type of any dhyana, whether you get it immediately in the idli, definitely it is not possible at all. So how it is comes from? It is starting from the irrigation field. They put some paddy in the wetted land, and it has started to grow some length. After that, after 15 days, that plant has to be plucked out, and another land has to be get ready for planting this grown small plant. Then after that you have to wait for uh, 3 to 4 months. We can also do water pumping, manual power, and finally you are harvesting the paddy, and this paddy has to be taken into the mill. Then in the mill, what happened? The paddy has to be put it into the water, and it is making for choking process, and again it is dried. Then it is put it in the mill. After drying, you are peel out the husk. You are getting the rice. The rice again it is goes to the shop. You are taking your scooter and get the rice, and again you come to your home. You are using your scooter, and you are using some petrol, and you are emitting some gas. So this rice has to be put it into the water, and you are allowed to uh, ferment it for allowed to choke it for 3 to 4 hours. Then it is put it into the grinder. Then you will get a wetted powder. The wetted powder is allowed to ferment it for another 6 hours. Again, this wetted powder is put it in the idli box by supplying the gas and steam only. You are getting the idli. Just imagine that, by throwing two numbers of idli, how much energy you are wasted. It is started from the irrigation field to the end user. So once you calculate these are all the energy, so once you know this much energy I have wasted, then simply you are not wasting the food. So as per the energy conservation principle, energy conservation is nothing but the substitution of energy with respect to the substitution of energy with respect to time, material cost, and labor cost. So, what is a material cost? See, now you have a diesel, petrol, and biodiesel. Biodiesel is the best fuel, but why you are not using the biodiesel? Why you are using diesel and petrol? Because of the cost is very less, and also the emission is also high, but because of the cost you are consider only the diesel and petrol. But another thing, the now the government has decided to go for BS6 engine, Bharat Standard 6 engine. In Bharat Standard 6 engine, you have to use Bharat Standard 6 fuel, but government has not supplied to the entire India. Only the metropolitan city they have to supply the BS6 fuel. Especially in BS4 fuel, the sulfur content is 50 ppm. In BS6 fuel, the sulfur content is 10 ppm. And also the NOx reduction, NO2 reduction must be reduces to 75% from the BS4 fuel. And also they are adding some uh, lead to reduce the hydrocarbon emissions. So what happened? You just reducing the sulfur content from 50 ppm to 10 ppm. The government has to make some arrangement in the plant itself. They have to invest 30,000 crores of money. Indian Oil has to be invested in the year of 2017. But the Indian Oil has given BS6 fuel. The BS6 fuel, Bharat Standard 6 fuel, is given to the entire country, not given to the entire country. But the engine is a BS6 engine. So for the BS6 engine, you have to provide BS6 fuel. But still now, only a few cities they provide the BS6 fuel. But it has to be given in another 1 or 2 months. The government has to given BS6 fuel. So, as per the energy conservation aspect, your engine is almost like a reactor. So, whenever the engine is very 100% optimistic, but the given fuel is not a clean fuel because it contains 50 ppm of sulfur dioxide. So, as per the energy conservation aspect, so this is the energy conservation, the substitution of energy with respect to time, material cost, and the labor cost. Say an example, you are going to start to produce a soap manufacturing industry or any distilled water manufacturing industry. So, or if you wanted to manufacture any other product, if you do it within a 1 week, then what happen? You will be getting the profit because of the time, the money, and the value of labors. If you do it immediately, the labor cost is somewhat low. If you do it after 3 months later, the labor cost is increased 10%, and the material cost will increase. So the energy conservation is defined as the substitution of energy with respect to time and material cost and the labor cost. So these three you have to consider for doing any other energy conservation projects. So what is the principle of energy conservation? Number one is a maximum thermodynamic efficiency. Number two, maximum cost effectiveness in energy use. Maximum thermodynamics means, see, whenever you take a boiler uh, or any other, say an example, in your day-to-day life, whatever the work processing we are doing. Say an example, I am taking about the thermal power plant. In the thermal power plant, what happened? The Carnot efficiency Carnot is equal to 1 minus T2 by T. Okay. So as much as increasing the inlet temperature of the turbine, you can increase the efficiency of the entire power plant. So due to the material construction, this inlet temperature to the turbine is optimized is about 650 degrees centigrade, only 650 degrees centigrade. Because of that, if you increase more than 650, what happens? The material which is used in the turbine blade get collapsed, or the lifetime of the turbine will get reduces. So for that, we optimize the temperature is 650. So the maximum efficiency of the thermal power plant is about only 35 to 37 degrees centigrade. I am asking you, persons like you, do you know either you are calculating your efficiency of the human body? Definitely, it can easy to calculate. Say an example, morning I had 4 idlis. If I continuously speak into the class, it required about hardly about 100 calories. For 4 hours, if I speak, it hardly required 400 calories. But 4 idlis into 150, 600 calories, the input you have taken. So 400 divided by 600. Hardly your efficiency is 65 to 70%. So what happened to the remaining 35%? you are not utilizing properly. So like that, then what is the maximum possible you can able to utilize the energy, that you have to do it based on your work, and based on the work requirement you can take the input. In case the people who are taking more and more food and they are not working, are not doing any other work, what happened, their horizontal growth is maximum compared to the vertical growth. Say an example, the people who are taking food continuously, but he is not doing any other extracurricular activities or any other work, what happened, within 1 year or 2 years their weight will also increases. So their growth is in horizontal position, not in vertical position. So you are not an energy efficient man. So as per the concept of maximum thermodynamic emission means maximum possible to extract the energy. Say an example, if you are going to buy a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, what they are going to look it for, you are going to look for, so which two-wheeler or four-wheeler which give you maximum kilometer for a minimum diesel or petrol consumption. So an example, one car, say an example, Maruti will give you 25 kilometers per liter, another car will give you 27 kilometer, you can look for 27. And second thing, what is the capacity you are going to look at, so what is the capacity and cooling power. And third thing, the safety aspect, which car is the best. And fourth one, what is the cubic centimeter volume of the car. Because if you have a 900 cc, the pulling power is less compared to 1500 cc or 2000 cc. So if you go for a higher cc, that mileage will also get reduced. So a maximum thermodynamics, which will give you the maximum possible extracting energy, that is a maximum thermodynamic efficiency. Next is a maximum cost effectiveness in energy, so which will give you optimum cost. Say compared, if you are going to purchase a product, say an example, a soap, a Lux soap is a cost of 40 rupees, the power soap is a cost of the 30 or 20, means if it is both the soaps are giving same performance or almost equal to the same performance, then you are choosing to purchase only the power soaps. And so that is a cost effectiveness, so which will give you the cost wise, which is give you the cost effect, at the same time the performance wise almost equal. Say an example, the Lux soap is giving the performance of 80%, the power soap giving the performance of 75%. But the cost difference when you calculate it, Lux is 60, power is only 30 rupees or 25 rupees. Then you can choose for a power soap. So when you go for an energy conservation steps, say an example, you are staying in your home. Okay, so what way you can do your energy conservation steps? So when you are staying in a home or in an industry or in any concern, your institution of engineers office, or in your home, or in the any educational institution or industry. So what are the steps you are going to do it? The first step is study the complete process. So when you go to your home, uh, what you are going to do, study the complete process in your home. What are the activities is going on, so how many fans is running, how many tubelet is running, how many numbers of electric equipment you are using in your home. Say an example, you are using tube lights, an incandescent lamp, and fan, and also water heater, and iron box, and LPG stove, and you are using some moving vehicle transportations. So everything is a electronic equipment, and you can study what are the energy usage in your home. That is a study the complete. The first step is a study the complete process. Now you take your one notebook in the day 1 January 1 2021, what are the activities going on. So first, you take it as a electrical equipment. Number 2, fuel consuming equipment. Number 3, money consuming things. So if you make it as a tabulations, then you can easy to identify where my money has to be spent, where I have to spend more money in my home. So first you can identify or to study the complete process. You can study about, say, in your family, 4 people are there. You and your wife and 2 children. So what is the money spent for you? What is the money spent for your wife? What is the money spent for your children? You just make a note for each table. What is the money spent for the education? What is the money spent for taking your scooter, taking your car? So what is the money spent for your medical expenses? So once you make it, or once you study the complete data, then you can know where you have spending your more money. So that is a step one. Step one, you have to analyze each and every corner in a single. Say an example, if you take a water, when you open a water, it started to flow, right? So what is the quantity of water you are using in your home? That you have to calculate, because water pumping is a more killer or more consumable things uh, in absence of your mind. Like that, in fuel also. So you need to calculate it in each and every point in your home. So study the complete process. You can study what is the input energy, what is the input money going from your packet, what is a so once you know everything is in every corner, so unnecessarily you just find out where the money flow is going on, where the money flow is gone. Then you find out, identify the second step, identify where the maximum energy is wasted. Next, you can identify where the maximum money is wasted in your home. So you just identify, my children has to spend more money. Because of I'm using my car, the money has to be spent more. Because of I'm using my scooter, the money has to be spent more. So next, the third step, you have to do the modification or replacement of the equipment. So what is the modification? In case if I identify in my electrical equipment or by transportation of my car as consuming more cost, then you have to optimize. In case of if you are going for regularly through your car, either you can go for a energy efficient car, which car will give you higher kilometer with a less petrol. Either you can choose like that, or better to change. You can take a cycle or go by walk if it is nearby that place, or instead of going by a car, you should go by a public transport. When we talk about the energy conservation in all over the world, especially for carbon dioxide sequestration, the US people, they will not accept it, the CO2. They said they are not emitting the CO2 based on the CO2 sequestration. This conference, they said we are not emitting CO2. But compared to India and US, Indian is the best persons. Indian people as the best economical and best conservative people. Why? Because if you take a public transport, what is the capacity? It is only 60%. But how many person is traveling the bus? More than 60, 65 or 70. What would be the emission? It is less. When you go to the US, each and every people are taking one car for traveling one place to other place. You just think that if one person has taken one car, what would be the consumption of fuel? Instead of 5 people, they took only one person to travel it from one place to other place. You just imagine that how much fuel has to be spent. They are not bothered about the emitting of CO2. They are not bothered about the consumption of fuel, because of they wanted to enjoy their life. They wanted to make it a comfort life in the world. They are not worried about the future generations. This is what they did in the US people. But in India also, the same culture has to be coming out in the future days, because our children is, you can also teach your children based on the energy consumption. Otherwise, your children will not get the energy for using their making their comfort life. See, if you wanted to give whatever the money you wanted to spend with your children, say no. They wanted to realize the cost. Getting the cost is very difficult in the life. They wanted to realize everything. So this way only you can save your energy for your future generation. Otherwise, it is never possible to save the energy. See, unless you are not making strict. See, in previous days, as in the school children's, see, including me, I respect my teachers, I respect my parents. But now you can see what happened to the children's. They're not follow their parents' word or children or teachers' word. Why this environment is happen? It is because of the advertisement, the medias. What happened in the coronavirus? It is not the biggest disease. Even our Indian people, once you take a hot water, coronavirus is a simple virus. If you if you if the temperature is more than 50 degree, that virus cannot be lived. So how to make it this virus free environment? Use hot water. Don't use any chemicals. Use hot water. And this hot water you can spread it over all the toilets or wherever you feel that you are fear that you have a virus spread. You just pour the hot water. It will kill out. So this is a way you can do and save energy to your children or your future generations. So the cost is very important. See, please save the energy to the future. So the second step is identified where the maximum energy is wasted. You cannot give all the money to your children. Say no. They wanted to realize it. So father has to be difficult to earn money that they have to realize. Otherwise, if the children is asking one chocolate, if you bought three chocolate, definitely he will also not follow the energy conservation. Energy conservation is comes from your basic child of his mind, his or her mind. Otherwise, in Tamil also they said, "Thirudanai paattu thirundavittal thiruttai olikum." You have to follow. You have to come on your mind for saving the energy for your future generation. So the third step is identify the maximum energy is wasted. So what you can identify it in your home where I have to spend more money. So the fourth step, either in case you are spending more money for the electricity, then you have to go for the changes or modification. Say an example, if you are used AC or a refrigerator, you have to make it the refrigerator continuously electrified. Otherwise, whatever the vegetable you are putting inside the refrigerator, that will not in fresh conditions. So you need to supply continuous electricity to the refrigerator. So when you going to buy a refrigerator, you should have that the 5-star rating is there or not. That you have to look into that. The cost is high. If the star rating is high, the cost is also high. But you can think that the electricity, then you will get the payback 1 or 2 years or more than 3 years, you will get the payback period. So now you can do the modification. Say an example, if you use incandescent lamp in your home, incandescent means what we said gundu palpun sollu. That is the incandescent lamp. So this will equivalent to 40 watts equivalent to 8 watts CFL lamp. So you can do the modification here. So 40 watts consumption, you can put a 8 watt CFL with the same lumen, 1200 lumen. So this tube light is a 40 watts tube light. And that incantation lamp also 60 watt, 40 watts, 80 watts, depends upon them. The another thing, there will be a heat is dissipated through the incandescent lamp. But in the tube light or CFL, the consumption is also less. The heat emission is also less. So now you can modify or replace. You can replace the bulb. So like that, you can replace the AC with a star. You can replace a fridge with a star rating. Okay. Uh, so now the fourth one is a cost estimation. Is a cost estimation. So what is the cost? Say an example, I'm going to replace one incandescent lamp with the CFL lamp. Incandescent lamp cost is about hardly 50 rupees. The CFL is 250 rupees. So you can calculate the what is the cost requirement. And the fourth one is a payback. So by adapting the CFL lamp, your consumption is only 8 watts, but you are getting 1200 lumens of light energy. Okay, so same light energy you are getting. So your saving is 36 watts. If it is running 10 hours, 360 watts. So for 2 days, it is a 2 unit. So 2 unit is a 10 rupees. So for 2 days, 10 rupees you are saving. For 30 days, is about 150 rupees you are saving. So the cost or the payback period is almost three months. So you have to calculate the payback period. Like that, you can replace a incandescent lamp with CFL. And the fridge, whatever the fridge you are using in your home, you can keep the fridge almost 2 meter away from the wall. Then only the air circulation is free. You will not, the compressor load has to be reduced. So by keeping the refrigerator from the wall almost 1 meter, okay, then the air circulation is better, the compressor load will be reduced, and the energy is saved. And other thing, uh, so this is about in your home. If you talk about industry, if you take an example of a thermal power plant, in the thermal power plant, it has a boiler, and after the boiler, there is a turbine. The turbine is coupled with the generator. The outlet of the turbine is connected with the feed pump, condenser, then condensation liquid again goes to the feed inlet to the boiler. Okay, so that is a, you can study the complete process. The first one, how you are making the energy conservation studies in your home. Like that, in industry, you can study about the boiler, what is the principle of boiler, what is the heat input given to the boiler, what is the heat output given to the boiler, and you can study about the turbine, and you can study about the generator, you can study about the feed pump, and you can study about the boiler exhaust, and what are the preheater used in the boiler. So once you study, studying means what is the heat input, how you are meditating the calculation in your home, how much money you are spending from your packet, and what are the ways your money has to be spent for doing all activities in your home. So like that in industry, in the boiler, so what is the input given to the boiler? It is in the form of fuel. Okay, either coal, LPG, or CNG, or any other type of furnace oil. So that is a heat input given to the boiler. So how to calculate the heat input? So what is the quantity of fuel used multiplied by the calorific value? The quantity of fuel is 10 kg per hour. The calorific value is 3000 kilocalorie per hour. So 10 kg multiplied by 3000. 30,000 kilocalorie per hour of heat you are supplying to the boiler. So 30,000 kilocalorie per hour of heat supplied to the boiler. That you have to convert it into kilocalorie into kilojoule, multiply by 4.187. So you will get kilojoule per hour. So divided by 3600, you will get kilojoule per second. That's joules per second is equal to watt, kilowatt. So input energy, heat energy are given in terms of kilowatt for the boiler. So like that, in output, how the heat energy calculated in the output. Output, what is the output of the boiler? It's a steam. We are supplying inlet to the boiler is a water at the temperature of 30 degrees centigrade. Pressure is 1 bar pressure, atmospheric pressure, and output we are collecting at 150 degrees centigrade, and the pressure is 10 bar pressure. So once you know T1, T2, temperature inlet of the water, and the steam outlet T2, and the pressure P1 and P2. P1 is the inlet pressure of the water, and T2 is the outlet pressure of the steam. So once you know T1, P1, and T2, P2, use your steam table to find out the enthalpy H1 of inlet of the enthalpy, and calculate the H2 outlet of the enthalpy. The enthalpy is nothing but the amount of heat carried by the water. The amount of heat carried by the water is a enthalpy. So what happened? The difference in enthalpy, H2 minus H1 will give you the difference in enthalpy. So that is kilocalorie per kg of steam. So multiply by how much quantity of steam. So you will get a kilocalorie per hour. Then kilocalorie per hour converted into kilojoule per hour. Multiply by 4.187. So you'll get kilojoule per second. Joule per second is equal to watt. So output also you are getting in watt, input also in watt. So output by input, kilowatt divided by kilowatt. You multiply by 100, you will get a efficiency of the boiler. So now the first step is a study complete process. Study the complete. We have studied about the power plant, boiler, and turbine, and condenser, and generator. And now you studied about the complete structure of and the complete input and output energy of the boiler. So once you are calculating the efficiency, now you know the output, input. So output by input is the efficiency, right? The efficiency of the boiler. So once you calculate the boiler efficiency, the next step, like that you can calculate the efficiency of the turbine, condenser, generator, feed pump and everything. Next step, identify where the maximum energy is wasted. Say an example. So once you know the efficiency is less, so it consumes more energy. So boiler has consumed more energy. We take it an example. Next is modification. Why the boiler is consumed more energy? What is the problem with the boiler? Is it the problem with the design? Is it the problem with the insulation damage? Is it the problem with the steam, wet steam production? Is it the problem with the dry steam production? Or is the problem with the scale formation? Or the problem with the sludge formation? Or is the problem with the flow down operation? We just point out in each and everything. So now in the home, you are calculating that the energy consumed in each sector for your food. Every day you are consuming food, for your LPG, for your electrical energy consumed by the iron box and AC and all pumping motors. So you are calculating each and every nook and corner. In case your consumption food required more money, so now you identify the consumption of food will take more. So what you are going to concentrate? So why the consumption of food in this month was heavy? Now you have a table, and which day you are getting the vegetable, which day you are getting the non-vegetable, non-veg. So everything you calculated, compare with the previous month. And this month, because of Corona, every people is staying in the home. Instead of 3 times, they took food 4 times or 5 times. So the consumption of food is high compared to the transport. So now the next month what you are going to do is, so wherever you are getting more consumption of this vegetable, you can make an optimum level. Okay, you can make an optimum level. One is, so like that in the industry you can do the modification. So once you find out the boiler, because of the insulation damage, the boiler is giving less energy, then either you can go for a modification, either you can put new insulation over the boiler, or if the efficiency is less than 50, it's better to replace the boiler. Okay, so say an example in the boiler, because of the insulation damage, this efficiency is reduces to less than 80%. Now I am going to replace a boiler insulation. So I put new insulation over the boiler. So the initial cost required for making the insulation in the boiler is about, say an example, 50,000 rupees. By putting this 50,000 rupees, investing this 50,000 rupees to providing insulation to the boiler, my saving is say an example 500 rupees. So that is a cost calculation. So now the final is you are going to calculate the payback period. So 50,000 is the initial investment, divided by 500 is your saving. So 50,000 divided by 500, hardly 100 days. So within 100 days, I can get back here, get back my money. So like that, say an example in your home, because of your motor is have a very big problem. It has consumed more energy, and it gives you only 50% of efficiency. So once you replace this motor with the old one, then what happened? By providing a new motor, so your efficiency is more than 95%. So every day you can calculate how much energy I am used, how much I am saving. So you know the initial investment, so you know the saving. So initial investment divided by saving will give you the payback period. So that way you can calculate the payback period. See, the beauty of thing is the payback period. When you go to calculate the payback period, you should get the payback period less than 5 years. In any energy project, the payback period must be less than 5 years. Why? Because if you go to maximum of 5 years, and if it exceeds 5 years and more, whatever the money you are using in the project, in energy conservation project, say an example, I will give you later one example for the solar panel. PV panel for used for your home. What about the payback period? That goes to more than 15 years. So it is a very high payback period. So this type of project nobody will ready to take. So any energy saving project, that should be less than 5 years. Say an example, if you put CFL lamp, that lifetime is high compared to the incandescent lamp. Incandescent lamp, that is a gundu bulb solluvom illaya. So incandescent lamp, when you put it in the your home, within 15 to 30 days, depends upon your usage, that will entirely it is get off because of the failure. If you use CFL lamp, uh, that will used 6 months or 7 months, even 3 years also they give warranty. So if you use this CFL lamp, so because of using the CFL lamp, what is your energy saving? Okay, what is the initial investment? 250 rupees is your initial investment. So within 2 to 3 days, I am saving 10 rupees. So already within less than 3 months, I get back my money. So like that, you can choose the payback period should be less than 5 years. So why? Because the simple payback period, internal rate of return, and so these are all the financial calculation. In the energy aspect, there are IRR method and payback period, and the ARR method, annual rate of return method. So these are all the various method to calculate the financial level calculation. As like that, when you are going to invest the money for the gold is best. When you are going to invest the money for land is the best, or education is the best. So these three, which will give you the less payback period, or which will give you the shortest return and maximum earning. Definitely, people are thinking that to invest the money in the land because of the land value has to be rise. But as per the economist level, in after 2029, whatever the land, one plot now it is 1 crore mean, it is going to reduce 10 lakh after 9 years because of the corona effect. This will happen. This is what the financial advisor said. The land value has to be reduced under almost 80% whatever present value because of the corona effect, because of no activities happen. And due to this virus effect, the problem is happening. So the payback period is very, very important. So the fifth step is payback period. If it is exceed more than 5 years, nobody will ready to take. So here I will do it one energy conservation methods in industry. So that is, I already told you that in existing all other cities have the problem of emission from the vehicles, more emission from the vehicle. So we call it as it is a vehicle emission because of the 80% complete combustion, remaining 20% incomplete combustion. If you wanted to make it, combustion is the best example for the pollutant level measuring. If you take the air fuel ratio for making a complete combustion, the air fuel ratio is very, very important. If you take a diesel car, it has required 15% of air for burning 1 kg of fuel, 15 is to 1. If you take wood, like our day-to-day life, we are using wood, this required almost 12% of air per 1 kg of fuel. So like that, there will be air fuel ratio is requirement for different type of fuel. So this air, without air, no fuel will get burned. Even as LPG or CNG or jet fuel, whatever the fuel you have, without air, no fuel will get burned. Say an example, if you have natural gas is accumulated in this area, if you make a spark without air, in insufficient air, or the fuel itself having some percentage of air, the fuel itself having some percentage of air will also to enhance the combustion reaction. But the fuel has no oxygen means. Say an example, in as per the safety aspect, you will also see in the WhatsApps this fire fighters, when there is a burning of LPG cylinder, they closed with wetted cloth. Immediately, the flame will get off. It means that you are arresting the flow of air for a combustion level. So the air is very important for complete combustion. So in the energy conservation method, there will be two methods we have. One is a waste heat recovery, another one is a combined heat and power. What is a waste heat recovery? If any process, it has the conversion efficiency is only 45% to 65%. Remaining 35 to 40% is wasted as a heat. Say an example, if you take a bulb, your bulb, I will ask one question. Is it possible to unmute the participant, madam, to make the answer to me? Okay. Is it audible? My voice is audible?
Yes, sir, your voice is
Okay.
audible.
Okay, thank you. So I will ask one question from the participant. I will put three switches in the ground floor. Corresponding three bulbs, I put it in the first floor. But I will give you only one chances to see the switches. Three switches. Only one time you can see. And go to the first floor. You can say which switch is corresponding to the particular bulb. How will you identify this? Any participants?
Sir,
See,
say it once again.
there are three switches is present in the ground floor, sir. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can go and see the switches. Now you can go to the first floor. There is a three bulb is present. You can say which switch is corresponding to the particular bulb.
You can't
I'll
take.
give you one. I'll give you only one chances to see the switches, and you will not come back and go to the first floor. Three bulbs are fitted in the first floor. Three switches are fitted in the ground floor. You see the switches, whatever you can do, but you can say which switch is corresponding to the particular bulb. Either first is corresponding to first or second or third. Second switch is corresponding to first or second or third. Third switch is corresponding to first or second. How to identify it?
We can't say, sir.
Anyone?
No, you switch it on. When the light bulbs, you link it. That's all.
No. So if I switch it on one bulb, I'll go to the first floor, switched on the bulb is burning. Okay. And remaining is unburned. So which switches correspond to the bulb? Okay. So I will tell you the answer. The concept is the waste heat recovery or combined heat and power. So I'll go to the switch. I switched on the first switch. I'll wait for 5 minutes and switch it off and switched on the second switch. Now I go to the first floor. So which switch is burning? That is corresponding to switch 2. Which bulb is burning corresponding to switch 2. Now you touch the surface of the two bulb. Which surface of the bulb is hot? That is switch 1. Because I switch it on, I have to wait for 5 minutes, then switch it off. It means that if any system, the conversion efficiency is only 45%. Remaining 65% of energy is wasted. It means that, so what happened, once you switched on the bulb, it started to blow. Then switch it off. So which bulb is on for 5 minutes, the surface get heated is because of waste heat. So like that, if you take any system, any process, you will not achieve 100% efficiency. That is what the Carnot efficiency in thermal power plant is about only 35 to 37%. The efficiency of solar power plant is hardly only 15 to 22%. You just imagine that 15%, 22%, 15 to 22% of solar PV panel system. What happened to the remaining 75% of energy? Is wasted as a heat. There is no conversion. So we need to concentrate all the process must in worked in energy efficient manner. So that is we call it as a waste heat recovery or whatever the heat available that you have to convert efficient manner. If you take in your home, you are using the renewable energy sources as a solar water heater, solar PV panel, or solar lamp, solar TV, whatever the type of the equipment. When you go to the first floor, and you put the solar water heater system. The input you are given to the panel is 30 degree, and it is moving through the copper tubes, inside the copper tubes, and there will be a glass plate at the top. So sunshine is reaching at the top of the glass plate, and it is allowed to enter into the surface of the tube, and from the surface of the tube to the water, it transfers the heat by means of conduction, and above the tube by means of convection, and finally you will get an output of 60 degree outlet. 30 degree you are giving input, and 60 degree you are getting outlet if it is a continuous one. So what way you can economically use this solar water heating system? Either you can go for a series connection or a parallel connection. I'm asking to the participant, and what economical way you can use a solar water heating system. Either see, as you are a energy specialist, as you are a energy manager or a energy auditor, what way you can connect the solar water heater in home, what way you can connect the solar water heater in the industries. That is a biggest concept, because if you use in the industry, your outlet should be higher in temperature. You need to have higher temperature outlet, so you can go for a series connection. What is a series connection? The outlet from the one solar water heater is goes to the inlet of the other solar water heater. That is a series connection. So you are getting the outlet of the first collector, you are getting 60 degree. So 60 degree is goes to the inlet of the second collector. The outlet of the second collector is a 90 degree. The 90 degree is goes to the inlet of the third collector. So you are getting outlet is 120 degree outlet in the third collector. So your this 120 degree is required only for industry. If you use 120 degree in your home, what happen? Your plastic bucket will be melted out, and plastic bucket is shrinked and become a cup. So where you need to put this series connection only in industries. If you wanted to make a only the mass flow rate is high, then you can go for a parallel connection. What is a parallel connection? So whatever the input goes to the first collector, the same input goes to the second collector and third collector. What happened? 30 degrees goes to the first collector, 30 degree goes to the second collector, 30 degree goes to the third collector. But mass is tripled. 1 kg in first collector, 1 kg in second collector, 1 kg in third collector. Finally, you are getting output of 3 liters in the all 3 collector output. You are getting 3 liters of 60 degree outlet. So mass is tripled. So once you need maximum water outlet with the minimum temperature, that is a parallel connection is required for all home as well as hostel or educational institution. In hostel or homes, you are not going to produce steam. You are not going to use producing power. So here you need to have a parallel connection. So based on the requirement, you can do the design. So the waste heat recovery system, wherever the waste heat is available, if you take in your home, when you are cooking with one part, the one part over the other part, if you put it, the heat emitted from the first part is used for cooking the second part. So that is a waste heat recovery. I made it to a product which is working in Trichy, but it's a simple product. See, in tea shop boiler, either you heard it or not, tea shop boiler, it is always burning. In the tea shop boiler, the people are giving heat always, 24 hours they are giving heat to maintain the water temperature 100 degrees centigrade. So water is a solvent. If any solvent which is extracted the solute at their boiling point, we call it as a leaching. If any solvent, water is a good solvent which is extracted the solute is the tea extract, which is extracted the boiling point of the water. The tea extract will be extracted from the tea powder. So water is, you are always to maintain at 100 degrees centigrade. So it is, we call it as a, this process is a extraction process, And this one type is a leaching process, and this one type is a decoction. The name of the filter or solute, we call it is a decoction, is a one type of extraction process, is a decoction. Nowadays it is decoction. Now they call it as a decoction. Decoction, it is not a decoction, decoction. That is a one way of method of extracting solute from the solvent by using the solvent. So you are using the water at 100 degrees centigrade. By pouring with the tea powder, you are getting the extract solute, is a tea liquid. So that is a leaching process, decoction process. So what happened in this tea shop boiler? People are giving heat to the boiler. At the bottom of the boiler, always giving heat to maintain the 100 degrees centigrade. What I did, so once it heated, I put only an insulation over the boiler, the hot insulation, ceramic wool. So the temperature is maintained another six hours. So 6 hours giving fuel has to be reduced. 6 hours giving fuel has to be reduced. So my saving is 50% of fuel has to be saved. 50% of fuel has to be saved. That is a simple process. So in the tea shop oil. So like that, when you go to the bus stand, in the bus stand, one person is giving uh, what is it, groundnut by using a steam cooked groundnut or fried groundnut. They are regularly selling in the bus stand side. So he used one kerosene stove for frying the groundnut and one Petrochemical for getting the lighting. What I did, I just remove the kerosene top. This Petrochemical bottom I remove. I take the top of the Petrochemical, I put it in the kerosene stove. Both valves are perfectly fit. So above the Petrochemical, I put another stand. I used to pump whatever the kerosene stove pumping, the same piston as we used for getting spraying the kerosene to the Petrochemical. The Petrochemical lighting has to be exposed, and above the Petrochemical I put one stand. The heat evolved from the Petrochemical. I put one pot, metal pot. So above that I put sand. The same heat has to be evolved. And what is the beauty is the person has to be saved. One kerosene stove I will completely eliminated. So only using the Petrochemical itself, he get a light as well as heat. Okay. So that is a simple idea. So that is a waste heat recovery system. And wherever you have the waste heat, that has to be utilized for the useful form of heat. So the waste heat recovery in industry, there are three ways it was classified. One is a high temperature range. Number two is a medium temperature range. Number three is a low temperature range. So the high temperature range are 1200 degree Fahrenheit. Medium temperature range are 450 to 1200 degree. And the low temperatures are below 450 degrees centigrade. So this is the way the amount of heat emitted from the different source, it was classified based on the heat available. If you taken an example, a high temperature waste heat is available in aluminum refining furnace and solid waste incinerator. The medium temperature waste heat available in heating furnace, gas turbine exhaust. The low temperature waste heat available in cooling water from internal combustion engine and process steam condenser. So if you take in your home, so when you are staying in an apartment house, you better to do, you can put a one collection point in every home. Whatever the coconut used in, definitely every home they used coconut. Okay, so after taking the coconut inside part, they throw the coconut shell. The coconut shell having higher calorific value compared to any other fuel. So you can use this coconut shell and you can make a small boiler with a cost of hardly 2000 rupees. The aluminum boiler is enough. So use this coconut shell, you just burn it and this heat can be used for your boiler. You are always getting hot water. You are not going to use power. That is a simple way. So once you burn it today, now within 50 to 20 minutes you will get a hot water. If the boiler is get insulated, this hot or the temperature is always maintained another 6 hours. So that is a better idea to save energy. So you will get a hot water. And also now in the industry there is a diesel engine, day by day you are using diesel car or diesel whatever the transport you are using. This model which I have proposed for reducing the pollution to the environment, this CHP engine capacity is about 1.4 dm3 and the engine power is 52 kilowatt per 4100 rpm. In this engine bed, I put to reduce the waste heat, I put the heat exchanger. That heat exchanger to use to recover the heat. This is a view of this heat exchanger. It is used to recover the heat, and that heat can be used for converting our tap water into distilled water. So once you have a diesel car in your home, I designed based on the flue gas outlet, I design a shell and tip heat exchanger. That shell and tip heat exchanger I fitted in the outlet of your exhaust without affecting the flow of exhaust. Because of that, I choose shell and tip heat exchanger. So this heat can be used for converting your tap water into distilled water. So there will be a small tank I have provided. It is act like a condenser. So whatever the tap water is provided inside the heat exchanger, that get heated up. When you run the car, it get heated up and it converted into steam. That steam is moved to the top, and by providing the condenser, it get condensed. The liquid has to be accumulated in the condenser. So once you stop your car, using the drain valve, you can take the distilled water. So that calculation I made it. Diesel engine thermal efficiency is 40%. The available heat is 60%. Diesel car has an air fuel ratio is 15 is to 1. So mass of the exhaust leaving from the engine is 15 plus 1, 16 kg of flue per kg of fuel. So the engine exhaust temperature is 600 degrees centigrade. Specific heat of flue gas is 0.25 kilocalorie per kg degree Kelvin, and the quantity of heat available that you can calculate. Q is equal to mcp delta T. M is a mass of flue gas 16 kg. Cp is specific heat of flue gas 0.25 kilocalorie. And delta T is 600 minus 300. I'm going to reduce the temperature 600 to 300. So the heat available is 1200 kilocalorie. If you wanted to evaporate 1 kg of water into steam, it required this much heat. So available heat divided by required heat, you will get 2 liters of distilled water. So every consumption of 1 liter of diesel, you can produce 2 liter of distilled water. The distilled water cost is 20 rupees. So 2 liter is equal to 20 plus 20, 40 rupees. Your 1 liter cost of diesel is 75 or 70 rupees you take. So 40 rupees is a saving. The remaining 30 rupees you have to save it in your pocket. So like that, you can do it this type of energy saving concept in your home also. So what way you can do the energy conservation concept? One is most probably people are very difficult to get the LPG gas, liquid petroleum gas, because it is kept it in the cylinder, 14.2 kg of cylinder, and every people they fed up or they felt the gas consumption is high. See, this month this cylinder has to be run. So this term, the cylinder has to be run 60 days, but now it was coming to 15 days. The cylinder was over because of during the corona period, every people is staying in the home and the consumption is of high. So what way I can control the consumption of flow of the LPG usage? One is as per the law, when there is a flow of fluid inside the tube, if you provide magnet over that, there is a EMF is produced. So once there is a flow of gas, so once you make a magnetic field over the flow of gas over the tube 1 and 2 and 3, then what happened, the flow has to be very slowly moved from the cylinder. The slow movement of the gas has to be very slow. And the thing is, the cooking food also will take some time. Whenever you do cooking of any food, if it is a slow cooking with a lesser temperature, then you will feel the taste. Why? In your home, when you use a sand pot and cook the food, it will give more taste. Why? Because of, anyone know? Because of the nutrient available in the food will not escape that. Number one. Number two, the temperature which is used for cooking the food is normal temperature, 120 degrees centigrade. So based on the flame itself, we can easy to identify what is the temperature of the flame. Say an example, if the flame is light yellow, that is 120 to 150, and just bright yellow up to 400 to 500. Then it turns into light blue, then 700 to 900. If it is turned to complete blue, the temperature is more than 1200. So when you use LPG stove, the temperature is more than 1200. So at that temperature, when you use to cook your food, whatever the nutrient available in the vegetable or meat, everything is evaporated out. So whatever remaining you have, only the non-volatile component, only the non-volatile waste. So the compared to the nutrient level, when you use higher temperature, or there is a one concept I wanted to tell you, if any food which will you cook with higher temperature with a short period, that will induce a cancer cell. So always when you do cooking, there should be a normal temperature with longer time. Okay, very, very important. So in your home, when you do cooking, so you can use your CHP system. And another thing, so what the temperature, when you use the temperature should be normal. You can make it in sim or a little bit higher than the sim. So that temperature, that flow of gas is enough for cooking the food. And another thing, if you make a one part, if it is a rice, over that you can put another part with the water. You can use potato or brinjals for getting cooked. So that is a one by one. You can use a waste heat extraction. And third one, uh, in the tube light or so any electronic things, once you go to a room, you can also identify unnecessarily some places are light is burning during daytime also. So you can avoid daytime lighting. You should avoid daytime lighting and daytime fan also. So 65% opening if you put in your home or room, you will get a natural air, and also you will feel more happy. See, when you work inside the room continuously for 5 hours under the fan, you just see the temperature of your body into the fan. So that is a one way of radiation heat transfer. Heat is transferred from higher temperature to the lower temperature. Always the principle of heat transfer, heat is transferred from higher temperature to the lower temperature. So when the fan is running above your head, so you just measure with your thermometer, non-contact thermometer. Nowadays, people are using to measure the temperature of the body in all the shops and everything. It is a non-contact thermometer. Just making a point and click the point and to find out the temperature of the particular thing. Like that, when you switch on the fan, you just measure and the core of the temperature, it is more than your body temperature. So what happened? See, the fan concept is to dissipate the heat, the surrounding, and also the lighting. The concept is to give more lighting to make a comfort scene. But what happened when you switch on the light? The heat will also dissipate. So when you're sitting here and another person sitting near, if another person temperature is higher than your body, the heat is transferred from another person to your body. So heat is always transferred from hot body to the cold body. That is the concept of heat transfer. As you know, heat transfer, radiation heat transfer. So most of the scientists got award only in the radiation heat transfer. Say an example, from the sun, what you are getting from the sun? You are getting heat energy. So what is the distance from sun to the earth? Almost 7.4 into 10 power 12 million kilometers distance, almost a very huge kilometers distance. But how you will not be able to tolerate the sunshine heat is because of radiative heat transfer, is because of radiation heat transfer. So radiation heat transfer does not require any medium of exchanging of heat. Say an example, in the village, people are, as you know, people are moving over the fire. People are running over the fire, whether you know or not. So that is the concept of heat transfer. That is a conduction heat transfer. So what is the time taken for the conduction heat transfer? If you take a hot, any hot material and touches with another material, what is the time taken to transfer the heat? The same hot material, when you pour it over the water, what happens? It dissipates the heat. Okay, so immediate transfer of heat because of the liquid transfer the heat to the that is a convection heat transfer. If any heat transfer occur through fluid it may be air or water, that is a convection heat transfer. Heat transfer occur through any solid particle, that is a conduction heat transfer. So when conduction heat transfer will take long time. So once people are, as usual, you know, generally in villages there is a festival, Poo Midi Tiruvula. People are running over the fire. That is a Poo Midi Tiruvula. So what is the secret? Once they are running over the fire, they are putting step 1 or 3 steps over the fire, and the 4th step immediately jump into the milk. So what happened? The conduction heat transfer, it will take some time. So it is the fire part is also solid, your leg is also solid, so will take some time. And also they applied some turmeric over the leg. So turmeric is a good medicine as well as a heat resistance. As you know, that is a lead and sport point. We call it as a lead and sport point. If you when you make dosa, or the dosa pan is, once you put it over the LPG stove, and just you put the water, what happened? The water is rotating around the dosa pan. Why not? It is getting evaporated immediately, because of there is a air gap between the water molecule and the dosa pan. In between there is a air. So air will act as a resistance. Air will act as a resistance. Will take long time to transfer the heat. So we call it, this is a lead and sport point. Okay, that at that point the heat conduction rate is less. So the concept is why, how the people are running over the fire, because of the lead and sport point. That will not affect. Like that, your body is also like that. So people are using needle to insert from this side to this side, or and over the tongue and the skin. Why not to insert from top of your head to the bottom, that needle? So when you're some festival, the வேல் குத்துறதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. வேல் வந்து நாக்குலையும் தோல்லையும் குத்துறாங்க. ஏன் நடுமண்டையில குத்தி கீழே எடுக்க வேண்டியது? Because tissues are having tendency to retain the structure immediately. Tissues, that structure will retain immediately. Bones are not like that. நடுமண்டையில நான் வந்து ஏதோ ஒரு கோயிலுக்கு வேண்டிக்கிட்டு நடுமண்டையில அளவு குத்தி கீழே வரலை வந்தாக்கா, if you are alive, then God is there. Why you are doing here to here? This is skin. These are all skins. Easy to recover. But bone is not like that. So everything is based on the belief and the science. So the combined heat and power technology is a good technology for saving energy. Whatever the exhaust heat you have, that you have to use it, and you can also convert in effective manner. So the first one is the generate electricity in useful thermal energy in a single and integrated system. And also by using the exhaust heat you can also reduce the energy cost by 40% and also reducing the pollution. So once you recover the waste heat, and also you can reduce the pollution by 50% and increasing the energy efficiency by 20%. So these are all the effect of combined heat and power. So this is a one concept which I have to tell about you. If you want to separately produce 35 units of heat and 50 units of 35 units of electricity and 50 units of heat, you need to spend 180 units of input. The output you are getting is 85 units. So 85 divided by 180, hardly you are getting 55% of efficiency. Where it is, if you use only 100 units input in the CHP system, the output is 50 unit you are getting the heat and 35 units you are getting the power. So the given input is only 100 units. So here it is you are getting 85% of efficiency. So the CHP combined heat and power is the best compared to the separate heat and power. And this is a traditional versus micro CHP system. In a traditional system, you can get only 57% efficiency. NOx is 0.2 pound per hour and CO2 is 120 pound per hour. So if you take micro CHP, here is only 57, where it is a micro CHP is 75%. This is work based on combined heat and power. And NOx is reduced 10%, 0.02, here is 0.2. So 10% NOx is reduced. And CO2 is 120 here it is 90. So CO2 will also reduce, NOx also reduce, efficiency is improved. So CHP system is the best CHP system, best for energy economy. And the energy saving concept, 40% energy has to be saved in a CHP compared to the traditional system. And also this is the best example for the heat recovery, waste heat recovery in the industry for energy conservation. As you know, people are go to attend the marriage or any functional party by nature of the mind or heart. They used to take more food. A non-vegetarian or vegetarian used to take more food. What happened? Their stomach will bulge to 2 or 3 centimeter away from your body. It means that you are naturally, based on the tendency or taste, you are having more food. So what happened? You will feel indigestion or some you feel that because of the you are taking more intake. So what way you can digest the food easily? Either you can use some ingredients like vethelai or some catalyst, or you can use hot water, or you can use some carbonated drinks like Pepsi, Coke, or anything. So it easily get digested. So the principle is, whenever you take a food, if you want it easy to digest, the catalyst or the say an example as per your body concept, the renin or the saliva is very important, and the temperature is very important. When the climate is more cold, you feel, sir, I just now I took food, but it will not get digested. So this I don't want food. Next time I will take like that. You said, because of the temperature. Once there is a three bacteria which will influence the rate of digestion in the digestion process. One is a psychrophilic, another one is a mesophilic, third one is a thermophilic. In the psychrophilic bacteria will very active at the temperature of 20 degree, and mesophilic bacteria will very active at the temperature of 35 degree, and thermophilic is very active at the temperature of 60 degree. So, and people they have to cut the apple and give it to their children, and immediately the apple is turned into brown in color because of the microbial action. How to prevent this microbial action? By adding sugar solution over the surface of the this apple. Once you add a sugar solution over the apple surface, so there will be no change in brown in color. So everything is because of the temperature. So the microbe is very active at the temperature of above the 20 degree. If it is temperature is 10 degree, the microbial action is get stopped. If it is less than 10, there is no action of microbes. So like that, the CHP system is used for preheating or increasing the heat of the anaerobic digester, and also the production of gas is high By using the waste heat, the annual saving is about 4 lakh 12,000 unit of electricity per year. The cost is almost 3 lakhs $3,000, and the payback is 7 years. And also, when you take the CO2 emission to the atmosphere, if you use CHP system, the CHP with back pressure turbine, CHP with condensing turbine, CHP with gas turbine, CHP with gas turbine, see these blue lines are CO2 emission has to be prevented. So this is the best one, the CHP method. So this is a combined cycle process. You are extracting the waste heat available from the turbine and used for production of the distilled water, and also the steam generation. This generated steam is used for converting into power. And this is the waste heat available in the boiler used for preheating the building in the foreign countries. And this is a cogeneration power plant, the CHP, combined heat and power. Say an example, in the sugar industry, people are taking the sugar can and put it into the take out the sugar juice and put it in the boiler. So in the sugar mill, the waste they generated is bagasse. So what is the bagasse? Bagasse is one of the solid waste produced in the sugar industry. So what happened? This solid bagasse used for as a boiler fuel, and using the bagasse they generate the steam. That steam is used for production of power. So in all the sugar industry, they will not belonging to the Tamil Nadu Electricity Board or any electricity generation board. The company itself, they generating the power, and the power has to be utilized in the running of the sugar industry. And also, if it is having the excess power has to be supplied to the grid. Okay. See now, the as I know, the fermentation process happening in Tamil Nadu is one of the hectiest position because of the quick fermentation. The sugar industry, uh, the molasses waste used in the sugar industry goes to the production of alcohol. But in the alcohol, it is an autocatalytic reaction. Autocatalytic reaction required 30 days time to complete the entire reaction. So if you wanted to get a complete production of alcohol, you need to provide 30 days time. But in Tamil Nadu, because of the demand, people are not producing the alcohol. They are not producing with the 30 days. They will urged to produce within 1 week or 10 days. So what happened, the fermented product which is come out from the distilleries are not completely fermented. By adding more yeast, it is what happened? It is a quick fermentation. We call it as quick fermentation. So once you had this product, you will get a lot of diseases. If you continuously take the Tamil Nadu product, you will get a lot of diseases. So you better to avoid taking this alcohol from Tamil Nadu product. You better to buy from Pondicherry or any other foreign countries. So this is a combined heat and power system where you have to the exhaust heat from the available in the turbine used for converting the salt water into pure water. So this is a united cogeneration power plant used in the CHP plant. The waste heat available from the first plant is further utilized for converting power. So first they are producing 22 to 23 megawatt. Second, by using the waste heat from the first plant, they are producing 5 to 7 megawatt. So what happened compared to these, the overall efficiency is improved by 10%. So these are all the three systems which is used for energy conservation. One is a reciprocating engine, another one is a fuel cell, and the micro turbine. In the reciprocating engine, the input is only 100 units. You are getting electricity 40 and heat energy is 50. The same, instead of reciprocating, if you go for separate heat and power, you have to spend 200 unit of input for a given 100 unit input. So it is doubled almost if you go for a separate heat and power. So like that in fuel cell, the given input is 100. Here it is 197. But output is the same. So in separate heat, it is doubled. Instead of 100, it is doubled. So like that in micro turbine, the given input 100, where it is separate, it is 167. But you are getting the same output. So compared to all in the process, The best is a CHP system, combined heat and power system. So whatever the exhaust available is used for heating the building, or by using the heat engine you can cool the building. Either you can heat the building or cool the building. So two-way you can do it. So this is a one energy conservation opportunities in industry. So whenever you use thermal power plant, the inlet temperature has to be raised from 30 to 60 degree. For that, your the investment is about 7 crores 20 lakhs. We are using solar water heater and increase the temperature from 30 to 60. The investment is 7 crores 20 lakhs, and the saving is 4 crores 32 lakhs. So initial investment divided by saving, the hardly is about less than 1 year. So this is a way you can do energy conservation in industry. And this is very important. Solar photovoltaic system. Whenever you wanted to supposed to put solar electric power generation in your home. Nowadays, government has given subsidy. Either you can put it in your home or irrigation field also. You can put it in irrigation field. In the irrigation field, in Periyar Manima University, they already established this solar power system. They have a solar park also, and solar gasification system they have, and that biogas plant also they have. So like that, you can also make solar power generation in your home, and also in your irrigation field also you can put 5 HP or maximum of 5 HP solar pumping system, and for that the government has given subsidy. So this is a small calculation I made it for putting a solar photovoltaic. Say an example, in your home you are used fridge, fan, TV, mixie, grinder, tube light, pump, iron box. These are all the appliances used in your home, and for the particular appliances you are using, say an example, fan is 10 hours and TV 6 hours. Based on the optimal calculation, your total unit consumption for each appliances is about 4 units. So I have to design this 4 unit of power. I need to get 4 unit of power to my home. For that I have to design a solar panel, which the peak power output is 80 watts, and 11 solar panel is required. The working hours per day is 6 hours, and number of working day per year is 300. I have to take it for calculation. The electricity produced, 11 panel, 60 watt peak power output, 6 hour working day, so 3960 watts, approximately 4 unit electricity. So for that, the cost required for the complete cost, panel cost, battery cost, investor cost is about 1,63,000. Now it is raised to 2 lakhs. So this is the initial investment. My production is 4 unit per day. So 4 unit per day means 30 days, 120 unit, 120 into 5 rupees. Okay, so like that I would calculate. I calculated the what is the cost per unit, and electricity saved and cost saved, unit produced in the plant. Because of, if you wanted to get 1 unit of electricity here in Neyveli, you have to produce at least 1.5 unit. Through line there will be a line loss, I squared R loss, that loss, like that. So I have to take it into 20% account of loss. That also the unit produced in the plant. And CO2 prevented in atmosphere. If you produce 1 unit of electricity, for this much unit of electricity, if you are produced with a solar panel, how much CO2 emitted to the atmosphere is prevented. Because of, when you wanted to produce electricity using a coal, you need to burn that coal, and after burning only, the heat has to be extracted for converting water into steam. So there will be a CO2 emission to the atmosphere. So if you produce with the solar, so how much amount of CO2 is emitted is prevented. So I have to calculate the savings with respect to the unit cost. So it comes 15.8 years payback period. But you have to spend 2 lakh rupees. Why now, still now, the people are not willing to purchase the solar photovoltaic system? Because the problem is the payback period. The payback period is 15.8 years, almost 16 years approximately. So if you put 2 lakhs in the bank, the interest offered by the bank is 1%. It's almost 2000 rupees per month. If you put solar PV system with the 2 lakhs amount, your saving is hardly about 4 unit per day through 120 unit per month. For the first 100 unit, government will say that no need to pay. So out of 120 unit, you have to pay only for the remaining 20 units. So 20 into 5, hardly 100 rupees you are saving. So instead of putting the solar panel, if you put the money in the bank, you are getting 2000 rupees return of the interest. Okay. So if you put solar panel, but the saving is, or you get electricity from Tamil Nadu electricity board, you have to pay only 100 rupees for the 120 units. So which is best? Either you can put the money in the bank, or putting solar energy using solar PV panel, or getting electricity from Tamil Nadu electricity board. Which is the best one? Definitely put the money in the bank, getting electricity from Tamil Nadu electricity, because of the tariff rate is very good for your designed solar PV system. For that only, people are not willing to put solar PV system. The main thing is seasonal variation. The sunshine you will not get 300 days, hardly 4 to 5 months. So the energy conservation by waste heat recovery is a very good idea to reduce the pollution to the environment by 50% and minimize the energy consumption by 70%, and maximize the cost effectiveness in energy use and optimum use of heat and power. So when you talk about in your home, first thing is in your TV. Say an example, if you are using TV, you should not switch on only the TV with your remote. You switch on the plug also, because it consumes internally some electricity. And you are using inverter. Okay, inverter, each inverter, say an example, 2 kilowatt means 2 unit capacity of inverter. Almost in Tamil Nadu is almost 1 crore of people. Say an example is there, 1 crore family there, 1 crore into 1 crore into 2 kilowatt. You just calculate how much energy is stored unnecessarily. Okay, so you will not store the electrical energy, not only for a standalone system. So, and what way you can effectively utilize? If you use a battery system, that battery itself consumes some energy. See, you take food in your home and you are in sleeping mode. Even you are in sleeping mode, that body is required 50 calories of energy. So like that when you keep the battery in standalone position, for running the internal circuit itself consuming some energy. That is what for your mobile or any battery system. Once the battery is switched on or your mobile is switched off, immediately you can charge the battery. If you keep it for 2 days, it become a dead, because of internally the circuit wants to run. It requires some energy. So whenever you use your TV, you will not switch off your TV with your remote. You can switch off with your switch. And like your monitor, simply they shut down the monitor, they will not switch off the plug. So that will also consume some energy. And also people are to forget switched off the light and fan. So you just make a board, switched off the light, switched off the fan when not in need. Even in your home also you can put. And also you will not use any chemicals in your home. The best method is you can use hot water for cleaning your toilet. Completely destroy the virus. You can use hot water. Simply what is it? The scrubbing material is enough to scrub over the whatever dirty is there. You can scrub it, and you just pour the hot water 100 degree and above, 200 degree and above. So automatically all the viruses get killed. Then you will not feel any smell at all. So the best method, instead of using your sanitizing or any other chemical, best using hot water is the best method. And also you can use solar cooking. Solar cooking means you can use solar stove, solar lantern. For a simple lighting system, you can use solar lighting system. And also better you will use to ride your bicycle. Once you ride your bicycle, no people get knee pain, heart problems. The best method of exercise for preventing knee pain and heart problem is you can drive the bicycle 5 kilometers a day. You will not affected with any knee pain or heart problem. That is the best way of doing exercise. And you can also go for running or walking in a hot sunshine. That is the second way. Why? Because nowadays most of the women, they are affected with cancer is because of vitamin D3 deficiency. Vitamin D3 is the only source from sunlight. None other food, if you take enormous food, you will not get vitamin D3. The only source is from sunlight. Unless you are not going through the sunlight, definitely your bone will affect, your teeth will affect, and you will also get knee pain and all the diseases, especially cancer, breast cancer will come. So you can keep your body in hot sun at least 30 minutes. The race from 11 o'clock morning to 1 o'clock is the best getting the more rays from the hot sunshine. And also you can use to do exercise. See, people are having diabetic. I am also having diabetic. My diabetic level goes to 375 sometimes. I never bother about it. I used to play 2 hours shuttle and 1 hour running evening. My diabetic is in normal level. I never take any tablet. So you can do hard exercise. The first 2 days you are feel very bad, very tiredness. After that, your day-to-day activity is regularized. The only thing is you can do exercise, control your food. Say an example, if you're not doing any exercise, you take minimum food. If you're doing more exercise, you take whatever the food you want. So what way you can save energy? Save energy based on using a renewable energy sources, and save your money by calculating everything. You can make a note of in your diary, and you can find out where the money is going on, where the money flow is going on maximum. You find out, and from that you can make it as an optimum. So with this, I definitely thank to Dr. Sumati Madam as a chairperson of Institution of Engineers India Limited for giving me the opportunity to give talk on about energy conservation, and the Honorable Honorary Secretary Engineer E. Jayakumar sir. My thanks to you, sir, and madam. Really, you are the role model for conducting this type of program. I really congratulate the team of the Institution of Engineers, Tanjavur Local Center. Now the session is open for discussion.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable
Thank you.
Information to us. And you have given tips for ladies also here. You have given more tips for us. I think all the ladies can attend in this session.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. நிறைய விஷயங்கள் தலையில குத்தி கீழே வர்றது வரைக்கும் இஷ்யூ ஜாயின் பண்ற வரைக்கும் சொல்லிட்டீங்க. இது வந்து கோயில்ல பண்ற விஷயங்கள் எங்களுக்கு தெரியல. இப்ப புரிஞ்சிருச்சு. Thank you very much, sir. The question session for the audience participants.
Please.
Sir, CFL bulb பத்தி சொன்னீங்க, நீங்க LED bulb பத்தி ஒண்ணும் சொல்லல.
Yeah, LED is also further more conservation compared to CFL, sir. But the thing is, where you need to put. Say an example, if you put it in a car, இப்போ கார்ல வந்து LED போட்டிங்கன்னா எழுத்தாப்புல வரவங்களும் ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கு பாக்குறது. So I'm also feel bad for using LED light in the car. எழுத்தாப்புல வரவங்களுக்கு ஒண்ணுமே தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது. பட் அங்க யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. LED நீங்க வீட்ல வேணா யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். பட் என்னைய பொறுத்த வரலையும் the best is either you can use CFL or incandescent is also best, because of your vision is clear only in the CFL, not in LED. LEDs have a clear vision only for studying purpose. For minute work you can use CFL or any other where you have a higher beam content that you can use, but not you do not use in car. நீங்க வேணா பாருங்க, நீங்க கார்ல எல்இடி போட்டுருக்கு வரவங்க எய்தாப்ல எதுவுமே தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது. அதை வந்து அவாய்ட் பண்ணுங்க.
சிஎஃப்எல்
எல்இடி
சிஎஃப்எல் பேன் பண்ணிருக்காங்களா இல்லையா? இல்ல
சிஎஃப்எல் பேன் பண்ணல சார், பட் தட் இஸ் அ கம்பேர்ட் டு எல்இடி compared to CFL, that LED is best. It means that the energy conservation wise this is best aspect, but practical way of when you do using this LED, especially in cars, myself I felt it is not good for the vision to opposite person.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
மௌலீஸ்வரன் சார் ஏதோ கொஸ்டின் வச்சிருக்காருன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
No, I don't want to question. Yes, Dr. Stalin.
Yes, sir.
Very happy to hear your presentation. I've been seeing it right from the beginning. I was a bit late for only about 3 or 4 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that.
Okay, however it is. Myself being a national judge for energy efficiency for the last 19 years in CII, heading one of the panel member over there, as well as also now I am the green course officer in charge of railways and doing railway assessments. But just as I've gone through your presentation is very good. It was it was completely basic, and how it is being calculated academically and how it is being taken forth to the users, consumers. If the consumers understand, it is okay. And as well as also you give a very good valid point for the design engineers, where they have to take this, what energy conservation is only 2 parts. One is on the thermal efficiency, the other one is the other one, which you have very clearly explained. If they understand and if they design, it will be definitely pretty good. People, yes, all industries are going. India on a high level, it is going over there. As such, myself being in CII, I'm able to understand the way in which we are going. I'm one of the Green Business Center member right from beginning. I've been there for 25 years. Yes, as I see, you are actually a petrochemical person, and you are able to put the thermal efficiency very well. Normally, this thermal efficiency is a very, very difficult subject for all normal people or average people to understand.
Yes, sir.
See, my project was on thermodynamics only in my engineering in 1972. So, your presentation, I liked it very well. It was going, especially referring to the cycles, your Carnot cycle or whatever basic principles of thermodynamics, though it's a very tough subject, all right? I appreciate for that. But the relevance what you are given to all the house, domestic areas as well as the industry areas. Okay, industry areas are very, very vast. And the domestic area also, the utilization, everything was good. As our chairman also, but only a small word of caution, or I don't even take it as a suggestion to you is, whenever you use the word God, G-O-D, request you to kindly take care. The formation of the phrase, what you use in explaining it. Yes, I do agree. The tissues, the quality of the tissues or the nature of the tissues, it can grow by itself. But the bone is also, it takes time. But normally people doesn't want to use so much of time, because time is one of the parameter, very, very important for any activity. And the overall presentation was very good. Thank you very much, Chairperson. I took more time for explaining it. Thank you, Secretary. And I don't have any questions, but questions, yes, it will be there, but it will be going a long way. I don't want, right? Thank you very much. Being technical, it was a good one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Take your suggestion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam, for giving me an opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Right. Thank you, sir. Vote of thanks by Engineer E. Jayakumar.
Can I have one question, please?
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure,
please,
sir.
please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Stalin. It's
Yes,
a splendid lecture which we have been observing. And there are one question and 2 suggestions. I think maybe it may be useful for a project or a research also. One regarding you are talking about the flue gas which is being generated from the cars. Normally, in ideal case, the engine will be running at 1,500 RPM. And where you are talking about the RPM is 4,200. So 4,200 RPM, where we need to accelerate the vehicle. So how are we going to be there for that acceleration? Or even if you accelerate, for a normal engine, it's going to be between 2,500 to 3,000 RPM. It will be a good rated engine and you have fuel economy. So this is
Yes, yes.
question number 1. If you want to answer, you can answer here.
Yes. This we did it in our laboratory, sir. Some disturbance case.
External distance.
Is it audible?
Yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead, sir.
As per your question, it's a very good, valuable question. First, when I fitted with shell and first we have different type of heat exchanger. First, I fitted with pin and tubular heat exchanger. This will not work out. Finally, I decided to fit it with shell and tube. Shell and tube heat exchanger there is no backflow. Whatever the RPM you set is a higher RPM, and whatever the existing one is 2000 or whenever run your car at 1400 to 2100 RPM. So what that exactly is correct. This is what we did. It is the maximum one, but the temperature we got it at this maximum RPM at 600 degrees. That is what we take it at the maximum one. So whatever the question you given is a very good question, but minimum I have not shown. So, and also the other thing, I took the maximum temperature of 600. Why I have to reduce this 300? Because of the exhaust emission, what we get it is a CO2, right? That CO2 or SO2 is all dioxide, right? So if I further reduces to 100 degree or 80 degree, I can able to reduce the temperature. But what happened? The CO2 is converted into CO. SO2 is converted to SO. So if you emit any dioxide instead of monoxide, any monoxide instead of dioxide, the harmful effect is very high. So that I have to keep it in maximum RPM and maximum temperature, sir. But whatever the question you set is valid. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Coming to point number 2 regarding this domestic PV panels. And there are 2 things which I can point out here. One is, I think mostly in architectural people will aware of this ASHARE. ASHARE talks about American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, Air Conditioning Engineers. So they have an open source software where they give you the input of the solar radiation. So you can plan your air conditioning system, because nowadays every house you can see a minimum 1 ton of AC, a bare minimum. I'm talking about the bare minimum capacity of 1 ton of AC is fitted to a house. So without that, which we are not going now. So when we talk about that 1 ton AC, you need to see what kind of insulation, everything. So if you use this software, so you can plan optimally how much ton is required for your, accordingly you can plan your insulation. One, you can reduce your tonnage by insulation. That is the number 1 point.
Very
so
good.
It has to be noted. This is
What is the name of the software, sir?
ASHARE.
What is the name of?
American Society of Heating, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning. ASHARE. Okay. The other one is regarding the PV panel design you are talking about. Even in the domestic utilization, we have this global solar atlas. So this will give you the solar irradiation through map. Thus we call it a solar map. So the solar map will give you the exact intensity of the light. So you will talk about the November and December is winter, but you can see maximum solar input. But your input reduce in September and October. If you see the solar map in south of Tamil Nadu. Okay. So this is a software which can be used for research as well as domestic design. This is called it is given as Global Solar Atlas. So you can see even at your exact location of your latitude and longitude, you give the GPS location, it will give you what is your, in that area, what is the solar map, and in which month you will get the maximum input and which month you will get the lesser amount of solar input.
Can we get the future prediction also using this software? Can we get the future
prediction? It can be given round the year. It can be given round the year.
Okay. But it should be exactly the same for the prediction.
It's precise. It is coordinated with your GPS location. it's precise.
It won't give the future, but the current one instantaneous.
Current,
one will get it.
instantaneous.
That's all.
When you
It will not predict your
install.
future. But
Yes,
experience,
yes,
we can get, yeah, definitely we can do it. We can at least have an average, but
Exactly.
you cannot predict the future.
I have
Exactly.
one more doubt, sir. In that PV panels are only efficiency of 15 to 20%. Is there any advancement, sir? Because the PV panel efficiency is 15 to 20% only nowadays. So that is
That's
the main.
what you're talking about efficiency. While you design based on this solar map, you can increase your efficiency. That is what I cannot say. I cannot give a guarantee of 60%. But only thing is how far your knowledge, how far you're applying your knowledge or the design. So that maximize your output.
Yes, sir.
That depends on the efficiency of your installer.
Sir, really appreciate your words. Please give your contact, sir. I will also get your whatever things you said that I collected from you. The software.
Yeah. Sure, sir. I will
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your session.
Thank you very much, sir. Nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you,
for
sir.
the nice
Thank you very
session.
much. Thank you very much.
Murali sir, yeah, tell me, sir.
Just want to make Dr. Stalin, please,
Yes,
one more thing which you are saying about the BS6 of engine design, what has
Yes, sir.
happened.
Yes, sir.
And now the fuel availability is only not for completely, it is not designed to the BS6. But the effect of that existing fuel on BS6, as you say, it is inefficient. Okay. The reduction is very, very less compared to what is required. But in any process of conversion, definitely it will take some time at the usage level. So actually, even the petrochemical people are producing it now with a less sulfur content or whatever it is, and it is being done. That is the way we raised from BS3, BS1, BS2, like that we raised. Now we have come to BS6 level. It was a quantum jump from BS4 to 6. Okay, just I would like to go that the people users should not get panic of using a BS6 engine, because BS6 engine only has been now approved. In future, any other BS engines are stopped by production itself. It has come. So automobile industry is taking care on that. So let us not have a fear that no, this fuel cannot be used. It can be used, but the variation of the efficiency is very, very less. But in short time, it will be made better. And your output production of all these SOx and NOxes will come down. Environmental, that is again, CO2 thing will become better, right? So that one is I want to keep you updated. Right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Jaykumar, sir, can you tell the vote of
Respected IAI Tanjavur Local Center Chairperson and respected State Center Chairperson and Secretary, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. Actually, I thank State Center for giving a wonderful opportunity to conduct a energy conservation day seminar. Web seminar, web conference. And really, sir, Dr. N Stalin sir is giving a wonderful topic on energy conservation opportunity in industry and home appliance. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And thanks all the participants to participate and hear the wonderful speech, sir. Thank you, Ananda. And not for the academic, one more information, sir. You are giving a very good how to conserve the energy and spend the energy, like way of eating. இந்த தொப்பை விழாம இருக்கணும்னா எனர்ஜி செலவு பண்ணணும்னு சொன்னீங்க. இன்னொரு விஷயம் வந்து நம்ம லிக்கர் வந்து எங்க பாண்டிச்சேரியில தான் வாங்கணும், இல்லை ஃபாரின் லிக்கர் தான் வாங்கணும்னு சொன்னீங்க. தமிழ்நாடு லிக்கர் வாங்கக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு சொன்னீங்க. ஸோ இந்த ரெண்டு விஷயத்தையும் சேர்த்து எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஒரு தேங்க்ஸ் சொல்றேன் சார். தேங்க்யூ. Thank you for. You can end the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for all. Advance Happy New Year, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can I speak?
Yes, sir.
சார், உங்களுடைய பிரசன்டேஷன் இன்னைக்கு ரொம்ப அருமையா இருந்துச்சு. நான் குணசீலன் சார், எக்ஸிகியூட்டிவ் இன்ஜினியர் டிஎன்இபி சார். நீங்க ரெண்டு இட்லியை தூக்கி எறியறதுல ஆரம்பிச்சு ஒரு நெல் விதைச்சு அதுக்கு எவ்வளவு தண்ணி செலவாகுது, எவ்வளவு மேன் பவர்ல ஆரம்பிச்சு அப்படியே தெர்மல் ஸ்டேஷன்ல போயிட்டு கர்நாட் சைக்கிள்ல மாடிஃபைடு ரேங்கைன் சைக்கிள் வரைக்கும் சொல்லி அப்படியே எல்லா டாபிக்கையுமே கொடுத்த 1 மணி நேரத்துல நீங்க ரொம்ப அழகா சொன்னீங்க. ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்ததுங்க சார். இந்த ஹீட் எல்லாம் லெஸ் ஹீட் வித் லாங்கர் டைம்ங்கிறது ஒரு புதுசா இருந்தது நமக்கு. ஏன்னா திடீர்னு எல்லாமே திடீர் சமையல்ல வந்து எல்லா வீட்டுல உள்ள லேடிஸ் எல்லாம் ஃபாஸ்ட் எதுவோ அதுதான் நோக்கி போயிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. அது கேன்சரஸ் செல்லுக்கு ஒரு இதா இருக்குன்னு சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க. அது ஒரு புதிய தகவலா இருந்துச்சு. அத என்னுடைய இது என்னங்க சார், நம்ம கன்சியூமரோட யூசேஜை குறைக்கணும். நம்ம தெர்மல் ஸ்டேஷன்ல ஹீட் சைக்கிள், அதுல வேஸ்ட் ஹீட் ரெக்கவரி எல்லாம் பண்றது அது பாட்டா நடந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும். இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு செமினார்ல இந்த எண்ட் யூசர் கன்சியூமர்ஸ் வந்து அவங்க வந்து யூசேஜை குறைச்சாகணும். அதுதான் மெயின் திங். நம்ம ஏர் கண்டிஷனிங்கை பத்தி இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் பேசலாம் அப்படிங்கறது அடுத்தடுத்த மீட்டிங்ல வந்து பேசலாம். 1 டிகிரி டெம்பரேச்சர் 23 டிகிரில இருந்து 24 வச்சிங்கனாலே இந்தியா லெவல்ல பல்லாயிரக்கணக்கான கோடி ரூபாய் மிச்சமாகுதுன்றது ஸ்டடிஸ் சொல்லுது. ஏர் கண்டிஷன் எனக்கு இன்னொரு இதுவும் உண்டுங்க சார். நம்ம கேரளா
சார் எக்ஸாக்ட்டா நீங்க சொன்னது 100% உண்மை சார். என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா 18 டிகிரி. இஸ் இட் ஆடிபிள் மேடம்?
எஸ் சார், இட் இஸ் ஆடிபிள்.
இந்த ஏசில வந்து 18 டிகிரி வச்சுட்டு போர்வை போத்தி தூங்கிட்டு இருப்பாங்க மூடிட்டு. அதை நீங்க 24 டிகிரி வச்சுட்டு போர்வை எடுத்துட்டு சார் தூங்கலாமே.
அந்த ஃபீல் வராதுல்ல சார்.
இல்ல தட் இஸ் வேஸ்ட் ஆஃப் எனர்ஜி. சார் சொன்ன மாதிரி 24ல வச்சுட்டு நீங்க நல்லா ஃப்ரீயா தூங்கும். நான் உங்களுக்கு யூ வில் கெட் a required cooling air temperature. Okay, so need not be put it in 18 degree. புரியுதுங்களா? So really it is a very good answer.
And the other thing, 18 degree is not suitable for your biological cells. That is important.
Yes. Exactly sir.
20 degree laboratory condition.
Yes.
20 degree வந்து testing lab condition தான். Human recommended condition கிடையாது.
Ambient conditionக்கும் நமக்கு எவ்வளவு சார் டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்குல?
மேக்ஸிமம் போனா 3 டிகிரி லெஸ் வச்சுக்கலாம் சார்.
Exactly.
32னா நம்ம ஒரு 28 29 தான் இருக்கணும்.
29 நீங்க அவ்வளவு போனா 25 வச்சுக்கலாம்.
24 வச்சுக்கலாம்.
ஆம்பியன்ட் வந்து நீங்க வந்து ரூம் கண்டிஷன்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா 30 டிகிரி வரும்.